There's a lot going on in the life, as always, of one Sage Northcutt, and he joins us. Oh, I saw him there from the corner of my eye via the magic of Skype. There he is, Super Sage himself. Hey, Sage, how are you?
What's up, Mr. Helwani? I'm doing good.
It's great to talk to you. I appreciate, after that last interview, having you on. So it's always good to have you on the show, Sage, and it's great to see that you are coming back. Have you ever heard of Claudio Puelles before when they offered you him?
No, sir, I haven't. I do know he is from Peru, I believe, and he was the finalist in the Ultimate Fighter. So that's very interesting. I think it's going to be a great fight. I'm looking forward to it. Were
you intrigued by the matchup? Did you have any qualms about it, or did they offer you him and you said yes?
I said yes. Yes, sir. And I think it's both interesting. We're both very young, and I think it's going to be an exciting fight. So I'm training hard, and I'm ready to put on a great show.
And are you fighting at 155?
Yes, sir. 155.
Why did you go back down to 155 after your last fight against Mickey Gall being at 170?
You know, I just went up to fight that fight at 170, and
okay.
I think 155 is my weight class for now that I'll be at. I'm walking around a little bit lighter, so that way I make the weight easier. I'm stronger. I should be faster and not have to struggle to make that weight cut at 155. So that should all work out great. I had my tonsils removed about 4.5 weeks ago, so that's all healed up. I should be better than ever, stronger than ever. Shouldn't be getting sick anymore. So I'm excited about that. So
this is kind of a crazy story. I was talking to your dad about it. We remember that you had the issue with strep throat prior to the Brian Barberina fight, and this issue has kind of bugged you for quite some time. Tell us what you were feeling and why it led to you having to have your tonsils removed. What happened?
Yes, sir. So during my first loss in UFC, I did have really bad strep throat, and as Mr. White announced, you saw the picture. It was very horrible. But then throughout that, actually after the fights, the next few fights that I did have, even though I didn't have strep throat the day of the fight, it might have been a week before the fight or 2 weeks before the fight. But throughout the fight camp and throughout the different camps for my fights that I had, the last few fights, I was very sick. So I would get sick, I would heal up, get sick again, and there were still strains of bacteria left in my tonsils. So the only resort was to get my tonsils removed. And you can ask Mr. Woodley, too, because I was up there training with him for his last fight against Wonderboy Thompson when he retained his belt. And I was up there, and I got real sick, and he quarantined me in a hotel for about a week. And then he goes, all right, Sage, now you're good. He goes, you've been on antibiotics for a week. He goes, come train with me again. So I trained with him again. I got very sick, unfortunately, again. Came back to Texas, got sick again. And then after that last one, 3 in a row, again, they just said, we have to remove your tonsils. So that was the best thing.
Wow. And so what were you feeling when you were getting sick?
You know, it's your whole body's fatigued. If anybody's ever had strep throat, it's like strep throat, but the worst kind of strep throat. It was actually eating holes in my tonsils. So if you looked at a picture, there was like little pits in my tonsils. And what happened was the different antibiotics would kill off the bacteria, but it wouldn't kill off all 100% of it. So it would come back stronger and stronger again. And it would just affect my whole body. My strength, my speed, my cardio, my breathing, the amount of pressure that you have on your throat, the fatigue of your muscles, just everything. So if I had it for the day of the fight, that was horrible. Or if I had it weeks before the fight or a month before the fight, it would take me out for weeks of my training and just affect me all around. So getting it removed is the best thing.
Before knowing that you needed to get them removed, were you kind of getting worried, like, you know, what's going on here? Why am I feeling this way? Am I never going to be the same? How are you reacting to it?
Definitely. I was a little worried because I would train very hard. I'd be feeling great. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I just get kind of sick. And then all of a sudden, I would, of course, as anybody would do that fights, and as a professional UFC fighter, they would try to train through it. So I would train through it, and then it would just run my body down more and more. So the only thing the doctor said I could do was get him taken out, and I was out for multiple weeks after that. And then now I'm healing up. I'm training again, and it's good.
Do you feel a difference already in how your body is feeling?
Definitely. It's kind of like a car. If you think about it, you have an exhaust pipes on a car, and imagine having like restrictor plate, and you have a tiny hole, and you're trying to breathe. The engine's trying to breathe, and it has all the air coming through the engine, and that restrictor pipe on your plates that goes through your exhaust, there's no air getting through there. It's like a little straw almost. Now all of a sudden you remove that. Now listen how much louder your car is, how much better it can breathe. You add horsepower, you add torque, it improves the fuel economy, the whole entire car. So kind of the same thing. I feel like I had these huge tonsils. The doctor said it was one of the biggest tonsils ever taken out. I actually put them in a jar and I have a picture of them.
Oh,
put them in a jar for me. But
wow.
Imagine having these huge tonsils in your throat and you're trying to breathe through a little tiny passageway, and then you get those taken out. And for a few weeks, it's gonna hurt. A few weeks, you can't do anything besides drink protein shakes, eat some ice cream, and try to recover. But after that, it's all better in the long run.
You didn't eat ice cream though.
I had a little bit of ice cream, some chocolate and peanut butter ice cream.
Oh yeah.
I did drink my favorite protein shakes, the RTDs by Labrada. Those I had that for 2 weeks straight.
Aren't you that UFC fighter?
Yeah.
Hey man,
Nice to meet you.
Look at that. You're getting.
Cool. Have a good one.
Where are you now?
I actually just finished training some training just across town, actually at the gym I'm training at, Paradigm.
Okay.
Here in Houston, Texas. So, and I just came over to pick up some products right before I got on Skype with you.
And so, is this your home gym now? Because I know you were with Tyron for a little bit. You've been at some other gyms. Is this where you're going to train for this fight?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay.
So, Paradigm Training Center, training back in Texas. That's my new gym for this fight. They have great grappling coaches, great coaches, and I'm looking forward to it.
Whatever happened with you training at TriStar?
I trained up at TriStar for just for a short period of time for one of my fights.
Yeah.
And then I came back to Texas. I just figured for this fight, I'd rather be back here.
Okay.
And I'm training with Santos Moncler is one of my grappling coaches. There's a lot of great grappling coaches, a lot of great coaches here for me to train with. And Paradigm Training Center is a great place for me. So I'm sticking here for this fight.
Were you sad that you couldn't fight at 211 in Dallas?
That was a great card.
Yeah.
And I was really looking forward to fighting there. It worked out the way it worked out. I was going to fight. But then again, after training with Woodley, I came back here to Texas and I just kept getting sick. And then finally we told the UFC I had to get my tonsils removed because it was just affecting me so much. So I got that taken out. I think it was for the best. And now UFC 214, John Jones and Cormier for the main event. That's
awesome.
I'm excited for that. You kidding?
Are you going to be on the pay-per-view? Do you know where you'll be on the card?
I have no idea yet, but okay. I'm excited to be fighting on UFC 214. So I can't wait to see. All I know is I'm going to put on a great fight and put on a great show for everyone. So training hard.
Do you feel, considering how your last fight went, and you've been out for a little bit now, do you feel like there's some extra pressure for you to, get people back on your side of things, make people into believers again?
No extra pressure. Just for the fact that it's going to make me want to go train harder and be so much better. So I'm going out there. I'm training super hard, and I'm going to make sure that I go out there and I'm going to be ready for this fight. And
are you still going to train with Tyron at all, or was that only because of the Wonder Boy fight or fights?
We might train again. We might train again in the future. We still text and talk and everything. I just Snapchat him just yesterday or 2 days ago. So yeah, we'll probably link up and train again, and I guess we'll see what the future brings. And you were just at the Las Vegas athlete retreat, right? Yes, sir. I saw him there actually. Oh, that's right. His wife. Yeah. So what was it like? Did you enjoy it? Definitely. The new facility is amazing. They had this cool. It was a treadmill wrapped around with this bubble thing, and I walked in there and they had this guy that was running on the treadmill and he was floating like on the moon. Oh wow! Pretty much, it had this air that gets like pumped into there, and it was like they called it anti-gravity treadmill. So that was kind of cool. They had a room that stimulates no oxygen, so it takes you to 10,000 meters. They said Mount Everest is 8,000 meters, so it sucks the oxygen out of the room and it makes your cardio better. I was like, wow, that's pretty high tech. They had these force plates there to test your punches and your kicks, your knees, all sorts of stuff. The whole place is amazing. So will you try to use that Performance Institute if you're ever in Las Vegas? For sure, absolutely, definitely. And I think it's so cool the UFC did that for us fighters. And to allow us to come there anytime we want, if we're in a camp, if we're not in a camp, or we just happen to be in town. So that's really cool. Now, here's what I want to know. Did you go to the Snoop Dogg concert? Oh, yes. I was there. Snoop Dogg came up. He started singing. That was pretty funny. I was actually playing before he showed up, we're playing beanbag toss.
Okay.
And me and Chris Weidman, we were playing, and we beat some guys in beanbag toss. That was pretty fun.
Wow. I didn't know you and Chris were buddies.
He's cool. He's really cool.
You Reebok guys have to stick together. But what do you think of Snoop? Are you a fan of his music?
Everybody knows Snoop Dogg, I feel like.
That's right.
And everybody in the audience was out there screaming, yelling, and he had a pretty cool show that he did up there and singing and everything.
Did you go to the classes like Kobe Bryant speaking and Michael Strahan, and if so, did you find those to be useful?
I did, yes. I think they're very smart. They're very smart what the things they did, not only how successful they are, but the things they did to get there. And then also, for instance, Kobe Bryant, what he did, what he was already playing out his future, while he was actually still doing the basketball, still competing, but he was playing out what he's going to do afterwards, after he retired. And I thought that was very smart. And it was really nice of them to come out there and speak to all of us. Okay. So I had my little notebook there the UFC gave me. I was taking notes.
Oh, really?
And it was definitely useful. They had social media classes. They had the speakers come speak to us. They had all sorts of stuff. Reebok had a deal where they graffitied shoes. I wish I had them on right now. I have a different pair of Reebok shoes on, but they had these shoes, solid white shoes. Yes, sir. We got to tell them like we want our name on there, what we want, and they graffiti them for us. So that was cool. Kind
of like you're back in school. And by the way, what's going on with your school life? Are you still gonna take classes at Texas A&M, right?
No, sir. Actually, I withdrew from school, so
okay.
For now, no more classes. I'm just gonna focus full time on fighting, going out there winning, put on a great show, doing my best I can be.
Wow.
And later on, if the school comes and I want to do the school later, then I can. But for now, I'm gonna take this seriously and make sure I can make the most of it.
How'd your parents feel about that?
They think that's smart because you only get it's such a big opportunity. You only get a chance for this and to do two things at once. They know how hard that is to do the school, petroleum engineering, and fighting at the same time. Super tough.
Yeah.
So put all of your effort into one, and you can be much better at that one for sure.
Do you think that was an issue in the past that you were trying to do too much?
That could have been a little bit of an issue, but there's no excuses. Just I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna put all my effort into this and make sure I'm the best I can be all around.
And I hope you don't mind me asking this, but I'm a perceptive guy on social media, and it seems like you're involved in a relationship these days. Am I right?
Oh, yes, sir.
You're off the market. This is exciting.
Oh, thanks. That's funny.
I feel like a lot of women are very sad now. I mean, I see you and this lovely young lady tweeting things and posting pictures and things like that. It's a beautiful thing.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Helwani.
Yeah. How long has this been going on for?
We'll see. Well, I've met her at school, actually. I've known her from school, but we'll see how everything goes and where it takes us.
Is it tough to balance all of this? Like, your personal life, dating, things like that, the fighting. Do you feel like it's easy to balance, or is it a little tricky?
No, I think you can't, obviously can't get too focused on one thing.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that everything's in proportion. So
okay.
It's got to be smart about everything.
And speaking of exciting news, your sister is going to make her MMA debut in just a couple of weeks, right? In June for LFA, Colby. She's going to fight at 135.
Yes.
This is long overdue, right? She's been talking about this for quite some time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. June 23rd. I'm super excited for her. So that's gonna be awesome.
Is she with you right now?
No, she's not actually. She just flew back to California. She was with me. She flew in on Thursday, super late at night, and then she just flew back this morning, actually.
Are you gonna help her train for the fight?
I was for a few days, just hanging out with her, but she's gonna come back here again before the fight. The fight's actually here in Houston, where I'm training, so we'll see. She's training up there in California, and I can't wait for her to come back.
How do you feel? Do you feel? I feel like just a couple wins, and we might see her, in the UFC. Do you feel like she's, she's good enough right now to do that, or wait and see? Let's not get too crazy.
No, definitely wait and see. But she's awesome. So yeah. She's this much taller than me.
Wow,
which is crazy. She fights at 135. She can fight at 135 or 145, and she has incredible karate, incredible stand-up. Her jiu-jitsu is good, so it's going to be awesome. It'll be her first pro MMA fight. She submitted, I don't know how many girls she submitted in the amateur MMA fights, but she hasn't fought in 2 years. So she's still been training, but she was focused on school for 2 years. She just finished up and graduated. Now it's time for her to fight.
And what about your younger brother? Is he going to fight soon?
He actually might. He just turned 18. He actually had knee surgery, so we're gonna wait till he heals up and see what he feels about it. But that'd be really cool. I know he's got the skills too.
Is it strange for you to watch your sister fight? Like, because you love her so much, that's your sister. Does it feel strange when you're sitting there watching her compete?
No, it doesn't actually. I kind of have a confidence for her, so
Okay.
I know when she goes out there what she can do, what she's ready for, and I'm more excited for her. So definitely not worried or anything. Just really excited.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to see you backstage. It's been a while. It's been what, 6 or so months since we last saw you compete. And so it's going down
Yes, sir.
July 29th, UFC 214, you versus Claudio Puelles of the Ultimate Fighter Latin America, as you mentioned. The return of Sage Northcutt. People are excited. They were missing you. Did you feel that?
Yes, sir. I was missing it too. I wanted to be out there the past months and months and months. I wish I could have been.
Yeah, that's right.
But now I can't wait.
And now you're feeling healthy. So did you actually post that on social media, the tonsils? Do we have a shot of that on your Twitter or Instagram?
Actually, I never posted the picture. I can post it, yes. They have a little jar, and they have both my huge tonsils
Oh
in
my
there.
gosh.
So I could actually post that.
Where is that? Like, where do you keep those tonsils?
They didn't actually let me keep the jar. They actually handed me the jar for a picture.
Okay.
When they made me, it was my first time. They put a needle in my vein, and then I'm sitting in the chair. They brought me back, and they said something, and I was like, so when am I going to pass out? 'Cause I've never been passed out by a drug. And they're like, well, you should be passing out here in about 15 seconds. I was like, 15 seconds? I was like, I don't feel anything. And then I remember the last thing I remember before passing out was, I was like, man, somebody in this room smells really good. And then I just passed out. And then I woke up. And I was like, did we do my surgery yet? And they're like, yeah, you're all done. And they gave me a popsicle, and I had a popsicle in my hand. So I was like, this is a weird feeling.
That's amazing. And who was the person that smelled good? Did you find out?
Yeah, I asked them. It was one of the nurses, I think. They said they were wearing lavender. That they washed their clothes in lavender, and it was like a lavender deodorant or something.
That's
like
amazing.
all natural, yeah.
Sounds like a great hospital.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
You want people to smell good,
Yeah.
before you. And how long
Yes,
were
sir.
you in the hospital for?
That was a quick surgery. I think, well, overall, maybe I don't know how long I was passed out, but the surgery only takes about 30 to 45 minutes, they say.
Oh, okay.
But mine was about that long, but then they had, I guess, the time before, like 30 minutes of me sitting in the chair. They're giving me like an IV, like with fluids and stuff before I pass out.
You didn't have to sleep there,
filling out
right?
paperwork. So,
You didn't have to sleep over.
no, I didn't.
Okay. Well, that's good.
No, sir. They did it really early in the morning.
Okay.
So that was good.
Well, I'm happy it went well. I'm happy you're back on track. Happy that you have a fight. Looking forward to your return. Looking forward to seeing you fight as always. Appreciate you squeezing us in, Sage. I know you just trained and you're out and about, so thank you very much. Always great to catch up with you.
Oh, definitely. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah,
There he
thanks
is,
for calling.
Sage Northcutt, returning at UFC 214 against Claudio Puelles. Always great to talk to one Super Sage.